Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Steins Gate Zero. So before we get started, I just want to give a little bit of information. Hopefully this video and audio looks good. I'm gonna obviously check it afterwards, but I've spent 4 hours last night and about an hour or two this morning trying desperately to get this capture card to work. It stopped working. I don't know what's going on with it. And I don't even think it's the capture card that's the problem. It's the software. I had to use a different, completely new software I'm not familiar with. So hopefully this comes out well. We're going to find out at the end of this. So, long story short, hopefully this turns out well and hopefully the quality's decent. Because I paid $20 for the software and I want it to work. I wanted to talk a little more, but both Maho and Moeka seemed to have work to do, so I decided to leave.
すべては物理現象。
I left the TV sound on. Hold on a second. Turn that off real quick and we should be good. Maho thought exactly the way most AI researchers did, that there were no black boxes in the human brain. But I knew the truth. There were things inside the brain that science couldn't explain.
リーディングしたいなって。何なんだろうな。
Was it ever going to be scientifically explained? Now that would have been a good stopping point. I missed it, unfortunately. Maho quickly choked back her yawn and looked around to see if anyone saw her. There were other people doing the same thing she was, leaning up against the railing of the bridge and killing time. Of course, they were all too focused on themselves to pay her any mind. She planned on spending the day at Ferris's house, taking care of the paperwork left over from the office's temporary closure. But this morning she got a call from Dr. Leskinen that had sent her hurrying to Tokyo Dinky University. Tokyo Dinky had, it seemed, offered them a temporary room at the school while their office was closed. Dr. Leskinen had called Dr. Izaki at Tokyo Dinky, who had given it to them without a second thought. So now she had decided to pay the new office a visit and discuss what they planned to do for the future. The Kanda campus for Tokyo Dinky University wasn't that far away from Akihabara, it seemed.
しかしまあ、いい天気ね。
The sky that poked out between the buildings had the clear color that was unique to winter. She'd spent the whole of yesterday cooped up inside her room, so the cold air felt good. She crossed her arms and reached upwards.
しかし遅いわね。
The reason she was standing here was that she was waiting for Moeka.
あ、来た。
Sorry, almost there. No hurry, take your time.
わざわざいいのに。
Maho didn't know the way to Tokyo Dinky, so Moeka had kindly offered to take her there. And she'd asked for something in exchange.
ヒヤチョウ博士の写真を撮らせて星記事に載せたいから。
Maho didn't really like having her picture taken, but if Moeka was nice enough to interview her, she wanted to do everything she could to help. Moeka had gone back to her home to get her camera. She said it was close enough to walk, so Maho had just decided to wait.
あの人、LINE だとテンション高いわよね。
She closed her phone and looked up. And then she saw Moeka directly under the bridge, running towards her.
待たせてごめんなさい。ヒヤチョウ博士。そん なに急がなくてもよかったのに。少し休んでいく？平気です。
Moeka went around in front of Maho and started to walk ahead. The year had just started, and the subway was empty. Maho decided to take a closer look at Moeka, who was standing next to her and grabbing onto one of the handles. Moeka realized she was being watched and tilted her head. Then she took out her phone and started to type. Maho's phone suddenly rang at the bottom of her bag. She just received a Ryan message. What's up? I see, so we can talk on the train like this. Feels strange talking to you on Ryan when we're right next to each other. You didn't look like you were doing well. It may have just been my imagination. Moeka's expression didn't change much, but Maho thought that didn't mean she had no feelings. When she looked into Moeka's thin, pretty eyes, she could see that she was an interested observer of many things. Maybe that's what you'd expect from a writer. Sorry to worry you. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Sad Kiryu face. I'll make sure you get to Dinky you, Dr. Hyajo. It's weird being called Dr. Hyajo. It's weird? Yep. You don't have to call me doctor both in the real world and on Rhine. Let's be a little more informal. But then what do I call you? Just call me by my name. That's what you do for Okabe, right? That's because he's a student and younger than me. You can treat me the same way. We'll be roommates for a while, and we're both about the same age. So, how about we call each other Moeka and Maho? You never would tell by looking at them, but Maho and Moeka were only a year apart. And Maho was 21, and Moeka 20, which meant that she was the older of the two. Maho couldn't help but wonder what kind of deal you had to make with God to get that height and those voluptuous breasts. No way. Never called anyone by the first name. I'd be too nervous. How about Kiryu and Hyajo? Please be one of the few friends I've got in Japan. Got it, will do. Okay. Then try saying it now. Moeka suddenly jerked upright and opened her eyes wide. Maho nodded at Moeka's whispered question. If we're doing it, I want to start now. But like I just said, I'm really not good at talking to people. Really? I just thought you were just nervous because Okabe was with us last night. Like, you're the kind of person who gets nervous around the opposite sex. It's true that when I talk to men, I get even more nervous. In other words, when it's just girls, it's not so bad that you can't talk? Well, maybe. Then, since we're both girls, let's get along. I know. How about this? When it's just the two of us, how about we try to talk in person instead of Rhine as much as we can? I'd be less bored with someone to talk to. If you're going to be a writer for a magazine, I think it'd be a good chance to practice, don't you? Okay, I'll do my best. Moeka seemed to steel herself, and then turned towards Maho.
夜城さん、よろしくお願いします。ええ、よろしくね、桐生さん。
The train arrived at their station. The area around Tokyo Denki was quiet. Moeka told her that the surrounding areas were offices and government buildings, which meant at this time of year there was almost no one around. She felt bad, but decided to have Moeka wait outside. The school was still on break, so she could have waited in one of the rooms on campus, but Moeka had refused.
じゃあ終わったら連絡するわ。
She split up with Moeka. Maho got very lost on her way to Izaki's lab. The school was completely empty because of the break, so she couldn't ask anyone. In the end, she had to call Dr. Leskinen and get detailed instructions. A letter was taped to the door marked Dr. Izaki's lab. The letter had a photo of a smiling Dr. Leskinen, along with some low-resolution text that looked like it was printed directly from a PC screen.
世界脳科学総合研究機構日本オフィス準備室の設立者アレクシス・レスキネンからのお願いをお読みください。これをご覧の皆様全員から1ドルずついただければすぐにでもおでん缶が食べられます。相変わらずこういうのが好きね、教授は。
No matter how formal the setting, when the professor wanted to tell a joke, he'd do it. He really was just like a child. But his carefree personality let Maho and Kurisu relax and enjoy their work. Suddenly remembering Kurisu made her heart ache a little. She suddenly realized that her sudden change of address, coupled with living with a person she'd barely even met, was taking its toll on her. Today she'd finally get the chance to talk to her again. Or, more accurately, the memories she left behind.
教授？レスキネン教授？
When she stepped inside the lab and called the professor's name, the giant in the back came running to greet her.
やあ、マホ、よく来てくれたね。パワーアップした準備室へようこそ。
はあ。つまりこのテーブルとソファー2つがパワーアップした準備室なんですね。
Yes、シンプルであることこそが真理へ近づく秘訣であるというだろう。
誰の言葉ですか？
私さ。
Foreigners laugh. The professor clapped his hands and laughed. Maho ignored him and went to sit on the sofa. He didn't seem hurt.
さてと、それで今後のことについてだが。
ああ、すみません。アマデウスを立ち上げるのでちょっと待ってください。
She took out her laptop and put it on the table. Her OS, a Linux variant customized for research purposes, booted up and displayed the login screen. Maho typed in her account name the same way she'd done 1,000 times before. Let's go ahead and learn about these. I have a pretty good understanding anyway. Operating system, the basic software of a computer that controls the entire system and allows other programs to operate in parallel. And Linux, an OS software developed in 1991 to be compatible with the general-purpose Unix OS. At the time, Unix was extremely expensive and not easily available, so Linus Torvalds, then a university student, developed Linux as an alternative. The code is open-sourced, and programmers from all around the world contributed to its development until it reached the point where it could be used for commercial purposes. Many modern web servers use Linux. Celery, For just a moment, she stared at the letters in her account name. She quickly put in the password and called up the desktop. And before long, Kurisu appeared on the screen.
お久しぶりです、先輩。
久しぶりって、一昨日も話したじゃない。
あれは緊急事態でしたから、話したうちに入りませんよ。それでなくても最近あまり話せなかったし。
仕方ないわよ。テスト中なんだから。
During Okabe and Kurisu's communication test, Maho and Dr. Leskinen had avoided talking to Amadeus to keep from adding noise to the experiment.
岡部さんも最近はあまり話してくれませんけどね。もしかして先輩と岡部さん、私に内緒でよく会ってるんじゃないですか？一昨日も一緒にいましたし。
そんなんじゃないって言ってるでしょ。なんであなたはどんな時でも頭の中に色恋妄想が渦巻いてるのよ。
妄想じゃありません。冷静な観察と分析に基づいた角度の高い推論です。
それならそっちを先行にすればよかったじゃない。あなたの的外れな分析じゃ博士号どころか大学卒業も危うかったでしょうけど。
Dr. Leskinen brought his hands together in an exaggerated motion.
この雰囲気、懐かしいね。昔はキャンパスのどこにいても君たちを探すのに苦労しなかったよ。いつでも二人の話し声が聞こえていたからね。
もう教授、冗談はやめてください。
それほど仲がいいということさ。君たちはまるで姉妹のようだ。さあ、それじゃあ今後のことについてのメーリングを始めよう。時間を最も効率よく使った人間が勝利する。これも私の言葉だよ。何かミュージックが欲しいな。クリス、お願いできるかい？
はい。
A soft piano melody began to play from the laptop speakers.
これは
先輩、覚えてますか？
We're gonna have a flashback?
私と先輩のきっかけの曲ですよ。
I'm feeling flashback territory coming in. She'd never forget. It was what had brought them together a year ago. And it was the symbol of their relationship. Oh, here's the flashback. A year ago, in September of 2009, Kurisu had officially joined the Brain Science Institute. She'd completed the graduate school's doctorate program in May of that year, and had only turned 17 in July. Maho herself had joined the Brain Science Institute at an extremely young age, but her record had been beaten by quite a lot. Kurisu was a genius. Everyone who met her could tell. Dr. Leskinen had been Kurisu's advisor during the program, so Maho had met her several times. And that was enough to tell her that Kurisu was different. Kurisu never showed off her own talents. Actually, she didn't seem to think of herself as particularly intelligent at all. But that actually made it a little hard for the people around her to approach her. Whenever you talked to Kurisu, you were forced to realize that there was a gap between you and her that could never be erased. She learned later from Dr. Leskinen that things had been the same in grad school. It was rumored that the real reason she'd come to America from Japan, that was the real reason, at the age of 11. No matter what she wanted, no matter where she lived, she was cut off from the people around her. That was what it meant to be a genius like her. Since Maho was a girl too, and close to her in age, she actually considered Kurisu more of a rival. Since they were working in the same field, they were going to be compared, and she didn't want to lose. Maybe that was why Maho had never thought of going to talk to her. And Kurisu was so busy learning how to work at the lab that she'd never come to talk to Maho. But then, 2 weeks after Kurisu came to the lab, a certain classical song had changed their relationship forever.
再セット。
There were two types of people in the world. Those who worked better with music, and those who worked better with silence. I thought there was there's three kinds of people in the world, those who can do math and those who can't. From a brain science perspective, the idea that you could concentrate better with music was sheer nonsense. Whether you were aware of it or not, the sound was continually vibrating your eardrums and your brain was continually analyzing it. But if there was ever a public debate on the subject, Maho would want to take the first position. Theory and feelings were different. You could concentrate best with music in the background, and you could be more creative. But there was one condition.
流していて集中できる音楽はモーツァルトが作曲したものに限る。
Maho whispered to herself as she turned towards the computer. She'd been running a patch on some equations for 2 full days, and it had finally completed. Today she was going to spend the whole day analyzing the output. It was Saturday, so she was the only person in the lab. This was the one day she had this whole huge space to herself. So she decided to play Mozart's 11th Sonata from the speakers, not her headphones. She didn't intend to pay any attention to the music. This is more like a ritual she needed in order to concentrate. It was a warm-up exercise before she could dive into a sea of numbers and equations. Once she dove in, she wouldn't need it anymore, so she simply stopped hearing it. She stopped seeing everything around her too. All she saw was the numbers and equations. All that was in her head were numbers and equations. All that was left was a thinking machine named Maho Hiajo. Her mind left behind the bonds of her physical body, and the speed of her thoughts accelerated towards the infinite. It was time for another fun journey.
おはようございます。
Someone suddenly whispered in her ear, and Maho jumped out of her chair, lost her balance, and fell. She looked up and saw Kurisu staring down at her, beginning to panic.
すみません。そんなに驚かれるとは思わなくて。
クリス、驚かせないでよ。
何度か呼んだんですけど、聞こえなかったみたいで。
ああ。
Maho stood up and sat back in her chair.
ごめんなさい。集中してて聞こえなかったわ。
はい、そうだと思ってました。
Then you should have just left me alone. Maybe Kurisu could tell she was thinking that, because she quickly added,
申し訳ないとは思ったんですが、せっかく休日に先輩とお会いしたわけだし、挨拶しておきたいなって。それにまだ作業を始めたばかりのようでしたから、お邪魔にはならないかなって。
今来たの？
はい、私だけかと思ったから驚きました。
Then Maho realized something was strange.
あなた、今来たって言ったわよね。だったら、なぜ私が作業を始めたばかりだと分かったの？
それは。
Kurisu pointed to the speakers.
まだ第一楽章の頭でしたから。ケッヘル331、モーツァルトピアノソナタ第11番イチョウチョ、第一楽章。
They're really digging into the whole Mozart thing, aren't they? Really makes you think that it's gonna come up, that code name thing. Mozart's Piano Sonata No. 11 in A major, the Turkish March. K.33.1 refers to the song's Kochel number, which is a numbering system developed by Ludwig von Kochel for the purpose of indexing all of Mozart's works, so that people worldwide could have a standard method of referring to them. Kochel numbers are given in order of the time of the song's creation, but as new works are discovered, or it's discovered that a song actually came out in a different year, they're sometimes updated. In the latest version of the Kochel system, the Piano Sonata No. 11 in A major is K6.300I. However, the original numbers were popular for many years, and are still commonly used today.
あなた、モーツァルト好きな
Someone
の？
else who's a music nerd too?
かじった程度です。それにモーツァルト全般というよりはこの曲が好きなんです。世間的にはトルコ行進曲の方が有名ですけど。
Let me prove to you how I know very little about Mozart. The third movement of Mozart's Piano Sonata, No. 11 in A major. This sonata is composed of 3 movements, but the third movement in particular is exceptionally famous, and often performed on its own. A normal sonata consists of 4 movements: an allegro, a slow movement such as an andante or largo, a dance movement, and a faster finale. I know words. Since the piano sonata only has 3 movements, it violates the standard structure. But this can be considered another example of Mozart's genius.
私はこの第一楽章の静かな調べの方が心地いいですね。
私も同意見よ。
To be fair, the reason a lot of people like to use classical Mozart-style music in games and other media is because you can use it without having to worry about like copyrights and licensing and stuff.
よかった。私も気合を入れて集中するときは BGM にモーツァルトを流してます。科学者としての発言ではないですけどね。
BGM? Maho couldn't help but laugh as she realized Kurisu was saying the same thing she'd said earlier. In the 2 weeks since Kurisu had joined the team, Maho hadn't quite been sure how to deal with her, but now she wanted to know a little more. So she used the signal her coworkers always used when they wanted to take breaks.
コーヒーでも飲む？
賛成です。先輩にいくつか質問したいこともありますし。
As she watched Kurisu follow her, filled with energy, she was reminded of the pet dog she used to have. But later she would realize that was one of these things that made Kurisu cute. Let me drink some water really quick so I can speak. She got 2 hot coffees from the lab coffee machine, and the 2 of them talked about their research for a while. It must have been a strange sight. 20-year-old Maho and 17-year-old Kurisu debating the latest developments in cerebral psychology while drinking coffee out of paper cups. Cerebral psychology, the study of the cerebrum, the part of the brain that controls human and animal actions. In recent years, the field of AI has achieved many things with a technology called neural networks that mimics the structure of the human brain. Because of this, one popular approach has been the use of an science-based approach. I cannot talk at all. Towards cerebral psychology. But the 2 of them realized that since they'd never had someone of the same sex and age to work with, these conversations were a big help to both of them. Having the older Maho around must have been a particularly big help to Kurisu. Once in a while, Kurisu would still call her senpai, the Japanese word for an upperclassman or more senior colleague.
そういえばアインシュタインはバイオリンが趣味だったらしいですね。
モーツァルトを尊敬していたようね。モーツァルトを好きになることは由緒正しき科学者の伝統なのかもしれない。
もしそうなら光栄ですね。
After a short... Hey, 50% CGs. After a short debate about their work, the two of them talked about Mozart until they finished their coffee. Does that just say cup of coffee on it? I think it does. After she'd had a real conversation with Kurisu, Maho realized that she was totally different than her first impression. Every time she spoke, she'd smile or pout. It was adorable to watch. But the only thing she had in common with most people... was her age... The only thing she had in common with most people her age was her appearance. I clearly have problems today. She was a genius.
先輩はアインシュタインがあなたにとって死とは何かという質問にどう答えたか知ってます？
いいえ、なんて言ったの？
死とはモーツァルトを聞けなくなることだ。日本ではそれなりに有名な言葉なんですよ。
Death means not getting to listen to Mozart anymore. It was a more romantic phrase than she'd expect from the Einstein she thought she knew.
へえ、知らなかった。アインシュタインがそんなことを言ったのね。
いいえ、言ってません。
え？
まあ厳密には言っていないことは証明できませんけど、少なくとも記録は残っていないと思います。
どういうこと？
Kurisu smiled and put her finger up to her lids.
昔日本で発売された本に別の本からの引用としてこの言葉が載っていたんです。けれどその本には引用元の署名が書かれてなかったし、今に至るまで引用元の本は見つかっていません。
著者がでっち上げたってこと？呆れた話ね。
証明はできませんから断定もできませんけどね。でもこの言葉、私はとてもアインシュタインらしいロジカルなものだなって思うんです。
ロジカル？
ええ、だって死んだらモーツァルトは聞けなくなりますよね。
そんなの当たり前じゃない。
はい、当たり前なんです。モーツァルトに限らず死んだら何も聞くことはできなくなる。命題は死んですね。ロジカルでしょ？
あなた面白いわね。知性と幼さが一つの脳の中に同居してる。
幼くなんかないですよ。
ごめんなさい。遅くなったけど改めてよろしくね、クリス。
Maho offered her hand, and Kurisu shook it with a smile. Kurisu's hand was warm.
よろしくお願いします、先輩。
Mozart had brought the two of them together. Kurisu was a child beloved by God. Everyone was amazed and astonished by her unmatched creativity. Everyone, including, of course, Maho. Something. It felt like she had to remember something important.
おはようございます。
Someone suddenly whispered in her ear and Maho jumped off the sofa.
クリスの言う通りだったね。
At some point, Dr. Leskinen had picked up the laptop and taken it behind Maho's back. Kurisu was on the screen, laughing at her. Evidently, the professor had brought it close to Maho's ears and made Kurisu whisper to her.
先輩、今集中モードに入ってましたね。教授が何度呼びかけても自分の世界から帰ってこなかったですから。
ああ、すみません。
こんな非常事態でも研究する姿勢は大したものだよ。
You know what? I was thinking going a little bit longer, but that being said, I did do a very, short, about 2-minute test video with this new software. But I probably shouldn't push it too long for my first actual recording with it. So we're gonna stop right here. We'll stop right here. I think this is a decent-ish spot. We'll continue from here next time. I'll look at it, but let me know if you notice anything particularly weird. Audio desyncs, bad quality video, stuff like that. Hopefully it's alright, because I did pay $20 for software that I kinda don't need, but I can't get the original one to work. For some unknown reason, I feel like it's a driver issue, really. Because the capture card still works. There's nothing wrong with it. So I think it's a driver issue or something. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for some more Steins Gate Zero. Bye!